The Square Ball Podcast.
Welcome to Propaganda. It's brought to you in association with Levi Solicitors. I'm going to hand to you, Michael Normanton, to do your varied and interesting messaging for Levi's 90th birthday month, which is October 2024, which only has hours left now. At the time of recording.
In some ways, they've been a bit overshadowed today, aren't they?
Why?
Because it's Daniel's birthday.
Oh, thanks, mate. It's not.
No.
My birthday's in May.
Farker.
Oh, right.
Daniel Farker with his birthday cake and coffee today on his sofa. So happy birthday to him.
How would that sound?
Happy birthday to me. But also...
Is what, sorry?
Yeah. And what
did you say?
Happy birthday to me.
Oh, right. What are you having, Daniel?
15% off.
Doing the voice.
15% off of lasting powers of attorney. No? Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one. It's weird. Sounds different in German. And also the wills and conveyancing.
The wills.
Conveyancing, I think is how we'd say it.
Conveyancing. 15% discount on wills, conveyancing and lasting powers of attorney until the 31st of October. I can't wait to see what November brings. That's all I can say. I don't think the legal services industry has ever been so excited. So much anticipation.
Yeah, it's a big one.
LeviSolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. You'll find full details and terms there on the website. Chris Mack joins us to bring some sanity to this, I think.
Yeah, we're in trouble if I'm the one bringing sanity.
Well, this is Propaganda, the show where we take you on a tour of the football fan channels and find out what's been said over the last 7 days in the football world. Michael, I'm going to hand to you as our bus driver, the tour guide for our journey. And where are you taking us today? What exciting whistle-stop tour is it?
Well, I mean, the game itself.
There was a game?
Just about 0-0, wasn't it? No one could be asked. Leeds fans were generally a bit displeased with a 0-0, but not massively unhappy. Bristol fans seemed to be mainly happy with a 0-0, but as a result, they didn't have an awful lot to say about it. So we'll hear Honeygun, which is a great name, Honeygun BCFC first, who was a YouTuber. He obviously does longer videos, but as you'll hear, he could barely be asked either.
Yes, guys, welcome back to another short video on the channel today. Just giving my quick reaction to the Bristol City versus Leeds game yesterday, which ultimately finished 0-0. While I'm doing a quick reaction, because ultimately not much happened in the game. If you take a look at the stats, it would suggest that Leeds were pretty dominant, and they were dominant and great in chances, although they didn't really, I felt, great enough clear-cut chances in their areas. One chance where Dan James went for a goal, but Max Taylor made a good save. Then they had a chance in the second half with Nonto, but it was cleared off the line by Zach Viner. So he had a couple of decent chances, but ultimately not really enough clear-cut chances. I think we defended very well throughout the game. We only had really one good chance with Luke McNally, but ultimately I think it's a good point.
Yeah, great. I noticed from that he started doing he starts his talk off with YouTube speak.
Yes, guys.
So I think we need to do that. To corner the already expanding youth market that we tap into.
What's going on, guys? Get a baseball cap. That's what I'll need.
Just for the record, there for the audio version, Michael did throw some sort of hand signal.
I don't know what it was.
I'm worried for you now. I hope it's some sort of gang sign.
W for Wakefield.
That's the one.
Is that what it was?
It's had to do a P for Ponty, and it'll be backwards on camera, won't it? Oh, hang on, which way around would it be? It's not great, is it?
Would you class yourself as Wakefield Massive or the Ponty Posse?
I've been Ponty a long time now.
Is there a big rivalry between the two factions?
No, Wakefield and the Five Towns.
Right.
We're all as one. That's what I would say.
Yeah, but is that not say, there's a bit of dislike between the various towns and cities around West Yorkshire, but if you go abroad or whatever and you're on holiday and someone says, where are you from? Yorkshire. Oh, I'm from Yorkshire too, and you all kind of band together as fellow Yorkshiremen on tour. No?
I suppose there's a bit of rugby league beef within the Wakefield and Five Towns because you've got Featherstone and Castleford as well. Yeah.
I mean, you're from Northern Ireland, Chris. Any faction? No. Let's leave Chris alone with that one.
Yeah.
Help for the best.
I do think Yorkshire's too big for someone to say, I'm from Yorkshire, you're from Yorkshire. You could be from Scarborough or Sheffield.
Yeah, it's a big area.
Yeah, but rightly so.
But it's rightly big.
Yeah, big because biggest is best.
Do you think we should look to expand the boundaries?
I think it should declare independence.
Yeah, I do think that though. You're right.
I have thought about that. I think it was around the time of the Qatar World Cup being announced, I did want a Yorkshire World Cup because it makes actually a lot more sense than a Qatar World Cup because there are already stadiums there. They all needed a revamp. It's big enough. There's plenty of cities here. It'd have been great.
There's a football federation. I think it's called Viva instead of FIFA, and it's the countries that aren't countries or states that aren't big enough to become FIFA members. And I could swear there's a Yorkshire team in it.
I do vaguely remember this.
Sounds about right.
I think there was some controversy around because you could bet on it as well. Still, in the way that bookmakers open markets and then are surprised when things happen. I think there was some controversy around that.
I might, if
if
we can't break away as Yorkshire, I might adopt citizenship of Sealand. Sealand.
Sealand away.
Yeah, which is worth looking into. If you've never looked at the history of Sealand.
Okay. Yeah, I do vaguely know about it. It's like a platform in the middle of the ocean, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a decommissioned oil rig, I think, something like that. If, like me, you just waste your life on Wikipedia late at night, wondering where your life's gone, then indulge.
Or just look at photos of Outanaka.
Right. Next.
Let's stick on Bristol. Just get him out of the way. Forever Bristol City. Thought we weren't as good as last year, but we're all right still.
But it was a very tough game against a very good lead side, although they weren't as fierce and as dynamic as they were last season. And I suppose having lost Reuter and Archie Gray and Crescencio Somerville, perhaps, that part
make a difference.
That. But they were all over us like a pack of wolves last season in midfield, and it was a 1-0 hammering. Today, they just seemed more patient, as though, they were going to score a goal right at the death. There wasn't, there was nothing, there was no lung-busting runs. It was, apart from the odd carry, I think probably the run from Jayden Bogle for that chance that Zach cleared off the line was the only deep run that they had, and James's run in the first half. So, yeah, I was a bit surprised about them, apart from that.
How far do you think you'd have to run before you would describe it as a long-busting run?
What speed am I going? Top speed?
It's up to you. What is your top speed?
Oh, right now, very, very low.
Right.
Because I've hurt my back, Anna. So I think I'd struggle to go above 6 miles an hour.
Right.
At the moment.
Yeah.
And I might need a week to recover from that.
How far are you covering over?
My lungs would be all right, though, at 6 miles an hour, I think,
Right.
actually. I think I'd have to do at least 100 metres to be tired
Right.
at 6 miles an hour.
Right. Thanks. Chris?
From here to the door.
Yes, fine. Right, next.
That'll do on it. He mentioned the players we sold here. Somerville, segueing beautifully into his first West Ham goal, because they beat Scum, didn't they? Which has led to some stuff, which we will get onto in a bit. But Stretford Paddock, this is from the watch along, and also in this clip. When sometimes you're watching a film and they say the title of the film within the film, and you can get a bit excited. There's a little bit of that in there too. But this is just Somerville scoring and their reaction to it.
Oh, Garnacho. Square bot. Oh, it's a good play from them. Oh, no.
Fuck's
There
sake.
you
He
go.
scored.
Called it.
Somerville, Ronnie called it.
Called
Fucking
it.
hell.
It's booking that, isn't it? Taking a shot.
Garnacho square ball. Caught out. Ah, man.
Running into the crowd now. All right, you've not won the fucking World Cup. Get a grip.
Ericsson's runner.
Oh, he's lucky because that kid had a shot that's shite. And Somerville at the back post on his own.
Man.
Just fucking shambolic all round. It was that Danny Ings who scuffed it. So it was fucking Ings to Somerville, which we said that, didn't I? Liverpool to fucking Leeds. Just fold the club.
It's good that they acknowledged him as a Leeds player anyway. I was pleased for a bit of validation.
Although he is now dead to us.
Well, yeah, there is that.
I thought they were talking about the canal.
Well, indeed. But yeah, more on Manchester United later. But sticking in the Premier League, you could hear how annoyed they were. I tuned in some Ipswich stuff, hoping to find some annoyance.
They've got no right to be in the Premier League.
Well, they haven't. And they're playing Brentford.
Again,
So
it's a League One tie.
yeah, I mean, Ipswich I'll allow as championship. Ipswich are about as championship as it gets for me.
All right, it's a League Cup tie. It's a League Cup tie between Championship and League One.
Ipswich are struggling to get promoted under George Burley. Is where they are. They sit in my mind. I was in the playoffs, finished 5th, fall short. They'll do it one year. I think they did eventually, in fairness. But then you get a couple of years and then you're out again. It seems like they're not going to have a couple of years. But they managed to pull it back to 3-3 in this with a few minutes to go. There's a terrible mistake from their keeper in the 96th minute or something. Brentford win. I was expecting Fury. Instead, I got this.
Mark, you've got a lot to say. We had a chat in there. Go on, take it away.
Okay, it was a brilliant game. First of all, what a wonderful advert for our club and for Brentford. The Brentford fans were great with us. We're going down to 10 men. Need to see that decision again. But the spirit, the effort, the sheer not wanting to lose.
Yeah.
The effort from our lads was incredible. To bring it back to 3-3 with maybe 2 minutes to go, it's incredible. And to concede so late, it was a real sickener, an absolute sickener. But we'll be back. They fought. You can see how much fight and desire and heart we've got. We're not going down. Leicester next week, oh boy, must win, and we're going to win. Make no doubt.
Love it.
It's all a bit nice, isn't it? I mean,
I'm in the awkward position of being far more like the Scum fan.
I was just thinking the same, thinking
I'm
I
far
can
more,
relate
I'm far
to
more in the fold the club camp than we're definitely going to win next week.
I think they've gone fully, we might stay up. Oh no, we'll definitely be fine, which is like actually whenever you're already sunk, I think.
Yeah.
Just looking at their team, it's very top end of the Championship, but not Premier League.
I mean,
They've got Calvin.
Exactly.
If them and Brentford love each other so much, why don't they just elope and get married and start a new life together?
Could do. What, in League One?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be right. But yeah, accepting a red card, that's not Premier League either. You've got to have conspiracies. I'm struggling to keep up with the Premier League conspiracies because Arsenal think everyone's against them. Man City have got all the charges, so they think the FA is against them. Scum always think that they're now 14th because of referees, and that, I mean, it was a bit of a dodgy pen at the end.
Newcastle as well, because they're not allowed to spend the blood money.
Because the Saudi stuff. Liverpool have got a chip on the shoulder about
everything,
most stuff, and it's like, well, who's meant to be winning this then?
Yeah,
because all the teams at the top are still. Is it meant to be Spurs, but they're too shit to actually capitalise on it? I just don't understand what this is all guided towards. Wolves, there's a conspiracy against them.
Yeah.
Leicester, I think they've said at one point they were going to get punished because they've got away with the financial stuff, because of their being between leagues business. So they're on the list for the FA. I don't know. I don't know who's meant to be winning.
Everton too.
Everton and Forest, they both have points deduction, so the FA are against them. So you're left with...
Is it Aston Villa? Or Aston Villa the best club in the Premier League?
Villa and Brighton, Palace. There's hardly any that aren't part of this conspiracy.
Who's the least offensive Premier League club, and is it Fulham?
It is Fulham.
No. Too posh.
They did have the Michael Jackson... he's dead in his statue of a nonce outside the ground.
Is he dead or is he in witness protection? That's the question.
Well, exclusive.
The person who put that statue up's
yes.
in the news at the minute for being a bit of a bad man too.
Who'd have thought?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I mean, that's a discussion for another day, isn't it? With far better legal represent. No offence, Levi's, but they don't do criminal law, so
they don't.
We don't need to
delve.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Fair enough.
Let's go right back on our tour. On the run, maybe.
Okie doke, let's go South Coast and Plymouth, who we faced this weekend, don't we? They had that ridiculous 3-3. Cornish January, we heard from last year. He was if you remember him, he was the lad who was outside the Asda in Leeds doing he was nominating like...
Well, it wasn't just the Asda, was it? It was the Asda HQ.
Yeah, it wasn't an Asda.
Yeah.
It was
the nerve centre.
Yeah.
The heart of the operation.
Was he outside the Asda as if like it was a landmark?
Yeah.
The Tetley building's like 200 feet away.
Well...
Rather than a crap 80s build office park.
I guess Tetley's not probably as big in the south, whereas Asda, it's everywhere, isn't it?
Apparently so.
And the other reason was Plymouth Green, Asda Green. So I think he did that as the thing. Anyway, he seems like an all right lad anyway. But this was his...
If it keeps him happy and out of trouble, then good on him.
Well, exactly. This was his take on that Preston game anyway.
I'm going to say this now. Preston were the much better side today, and in that perspective, you could be looking at it thinking that we're fortunate to get a point today. But like I said, considering the circumstances of today's match, I will absolutely take it. Given how dreadful and appalling that first half was, how on earth do you bottle a 3-0 lead like that? I mean, it's brilliant for us because we were diabolical for most of the game and then just came back like that. I'll take it. But going into a dreading game at Ellen Road at Leeds next week, I will take it, that draw. I can't lie, I don't see us getting anything at Ellen Road.
He dreads going to Ellen Road. He's not the only one. Hey, wait till he sees Preston bus station.
Well, it was a home game.
Yeah,
so
but for the away leg.
For the away game, yeah.
That'll be exciting for him.
I was wondering what he thinks of Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, well, he was blaming Wayne Rooney for the team selection, actually, on this one. But he did also say in a different bit of the clip saying that it was the first time he was really blaming Rooney for anything this season, which was quite interesting because I would blame him for most things if he was in charge of Leeds.
Right.
It's just a real scapegoat. Just chuck it all at him, more or less.
Right.
But yeah, it's kind of good to know that. I mean, we should beat him, shouldn't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. There's no excuse.
Would be very worried if we didn't.
Yeah. They've got Darko JB and Adam Forshaw as midfield.
And Darko JB can't play.
Yeah. So, but they saw them as being first team players, which we did not. So, whereas we obviously have the best midfielder in the world.
Correct. Right.
Joshua Gilavogi.
Potentially. Maybe you could have a little cameo in this. It'd be nice actually if we could get in the lead and just bring him on for 20 minutes just to have a look at him.
Gonna have to. 3 games in a week again. Need to start giving him 10, 15 minutes at some point.
What we need is an out-and-out mug.
We do.
Yeah.
Not to play midfield, though. Just to have.
If only one was coming soon. Very soon.
It's coming. Who's the Preston manager?
It's that bloke, innit?
Alan Irvine.
Absolute silence. It's Hecky. It's Paul Heckingbottom, isn't it?
Right.
Do you not remember him?
I knew that, but only because it's on the sheet.
That guy. I was trying to find him.
Was that before 2018?
What do you mean?
Was that before the summer of 2018? Paul Leckie.
But I don't understand what you mean.
Like at Leeds?
Not at Preston. He's gone there this season.
Paul Heckingbottom. She said, do you remember him? I said, is that before 2018?
Okay.
I'm saying, like, I've blanked it out.
Blanked it.
The before times don't count.
Fair enough. But they've thrown away Leeds.
I'm glad that
in both of their last games.
I'm glad that light-hearted reference really landed well.
Good. I was confused as to whether you thought he'd managed Preston in 2018.
He might have done.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't have noticed.
It's hard to know, isn't it? They've changed a few times. But there was nothing from him after the Plymouth game that I could find on YouTube. But they played Norwich the game before, and there was a press conference from that. So I've just got a little clip here of Paul Heckingbottom doing Paul Heckingbottom things.
Did we prepare right? We prepared perfectly because I thought the pattern of the game, we got off to a tee in terms of us with the ball and without the ball. So we got things right with the ball in terms of when wide players jump. And then without the ball, we changed slightly because of...
Yeah,
because of what? Stuff. Because of the reasons.
He just goes on Paul Heckingbottom stuff, but he's still at it.
It's a bit like that the meme of say the line, Bart, say the line.
Exactly. Well, but it was good. I was pleased that he only made me wait a minute and a half into that clip as well before he got onto with ball without ball. Yeah. It was about 9 minutes overall, but he got it in twice.
Yeah,
which is nice to hear.
What's your take on the with the ball without the ball dynamic? The dichotomy. That's a good word, isn't it? Dichotomy.
Is it a dichotomy?
Maybe.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure it necessarily is. What do you mean? What's my take on it?
You're the tactical expert. You seem to be not following today. You all right? I got a bang to the head or something.
Just feels like it sometimes.
A dichotomy is a division or contrast between two things that are or are represented as being opposed or entirely different. So, with ball, without ball.
I don't think it's obvious. It's always just been part of football, isn't it? It's stating the fucking obvious. There's times when you have it and times when you don't. It just seems to have been something he's digested on a coaching course, and now he just says it every single time.
Although the more modern twist on that, or the more recent twist, was Jesse Marsh, wasn't it? Against the ball.
Against the ball, yeah.
I thought you just meant there wasn't much difference whether we had the ball or didn't have the ball.
What, running around aimlessly?
Just panicking.
Aimless central panic.
It's mad that, isn't it? How you could see from day one that was it was chaos and awful, and yet you kind of willed it into being good because you needed it to be.
Well, it can work. We didn't do it very well, and maybe the players weren't quite suited for it. But it can work, like the sort of chaotic.
I mean, Rodrigo wasn't able to run around aimlessly.
And Mark Rocker
like a
wasn't
lunatic.
ideally. Yeah, no, it was never going to work, was it, with the players we had?
It can work when you're the only team in a one-team league.
Well, there is that.
Yeah. Although, did Red Bull Salzburg, did they not win the league last year?
I think they did have a little slip, but who cares really?
Pump them full of taurine, whatever. Where now?
Well, anyway, we're not allowed to talk about Jesse Marsch because people will say you shouldn't go on about him because you can't talk about ex-managers over and over again. So that was Hecky. Should we hear from Neil Warnock?
Yeah, let's.
He's now at Torquay as a football advisor.
You hate Americans, isn't it?
Yes, which Neil Warnock is.
Yes.
They're managed by Paul Wootton, though, or Wotton. I don't know. I don't know if it's not quite Scott Wootton.
I read that and I saw the word Wootton, like as in Scott, because I'm so used to seeing it.
It's only a single O is Wotton.
It's not Scott. It's Otton. That's two.
All right, fine. You win.
Got you there, didn't I?
You know what I meant. But yeah, you might remember it. Played for Plymouth twice.
No,
Southampton,
I don't.
Oxford, Yeovil.
I don't.
He's a man of the South, is what I'm saying.
No, he's no idea who he is.
No, I vaguely remembered his name. But anyway, they're fifth in the National League South.
To indulge in youth talk, is that ball knowledge?
Yeah. Yes.
There you go.
Paul, but Paul, the amount of YouTube videos there about Paul Wotton, Wotton. I just can't count them. It's just non-stop.
Try.
0. Probably this one. But this is Warnock at training, just looming like a little hairless goblin in the corner of some AstroTurf. But he's doing Warnock stuff. And they're currently 5th, but I take from this clip that he wants his job and he will have it by the end of the season to try and claim another promotion.
All credit to Paul. I mean, it's not easy to bring a complete new team. I see one or two of the posts. You shouldn't read social media, really. You don't realise how difficult it is when you've got a brand new squad of players. You've got to get a formula that you can go away from home and hopefully defend well and come away with a win. And then at home, the fans will get behind us. It's a different ball game. So I've been really pleased with the start we've had.
Yeah.
I feel like he's whispering in my ear in a cocktail bar.
Stop talking to me, Mr. Warnock.
He's put one of his CDs on. And he's coming over for a little chat.
Do you think that's what Sharon hears?
God. You heard a little bit of the Warnock chuckle in there, didn't you? There's a great Warnock chuckle.
I think that was some lovemaking music. I think that's what it puts on.
Puts it on for the players to calm them down a bit.
You can't find his Kenny G CDs.
Bloody hell. So this next clip, it's a quiz for you first. So he thinks Paul's doing well. Not as well as he would do, but Paul's doing pretty well. What do you think Neil Warnock thinks the Torquay team lacks? Is it like a small ball playing midfielder? Is it fast wingers? Or is it something else?
Well, they were a good group of lads. Probably not enough nastiness in the squad, but that's my kind of team, innit, that really. But they said that they one or two had a go at the end of the game on Saturday with an incident. So I thought, that's good. I like anything like that as a manager.
Given that I've just been talking about him lovemaking with Sharon, and he's talking about nastiness. My brain's gone where I didn't want it to go.
I like it when I do that, don't you, Joe?
You want me to spit, Sharon?
Naughty Neil.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, a bit of nastiness. It's all he ever wants in a team, isn't it?
Oh, I love it when Sharon gets nasty.
What age is Warnock?
75 or something?
75. I mean,
is that correct?
Yeah, spot
that's
on.
Good, isn't it?
I don't like to do the whole dinosaur thing because there are older managers who are still...
Bielsa?
Yeah.
I think Warnock's always been a dinosaur.
Yeah, he gives the rest of them a bad name.
Have you heard of the dinosaurs' war cry? They try and recreate these things when you watch like a documentary on TV these days about dinosaurs and that. This is the Warnockosaurus dancing across the plains of Middle Earth. I don't know.
But that's my kind of team, innit, that really.
Come over here, there's this dinosaur.
Get the pump out. Come in, Shannon. I'm ready to go. I think I might have called her Shannon then. Sharon.
Why have you got
enunciate
Freudian slip
properly?
Because what have you been watching?
Shannon Matthews the musical.
Right.
It's a good film. It's going to be on Amazon soon. I recommend everyone watches it as long as you're not easily offended.
And if you do, Whose name will you spot in the credits?
I might have put some money into the crowdfunder. Yes.
Excellent.
See, people think I'm tight, but when it's a worthwhile product, I'm willing to pay for it.
Yeah. So you've just for clarity, you've crowdfunded a musical about the kidnapping of a young girl in Dewsbury who was returned safely and has hopefully gone on to lead a good and fulfilling life.
He's a patron of the arts.
Yeah.
I've always said it.
Exactly.
I've always said it.
The stuck-up bastards at the Arts Council won't get involved in this stuff. It's more like your grassroots arts funding. That's what I'm involved in.
You're a right. Yeah, that's what you are.
See, on Bornick, do you think there's a chance if Plymouth sack Rooney, say it?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Wayne sack Rooney.
Yes.
He goes there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's close, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really close.
Yeah.
I think he was after it in summer, though, wasn't he? Because he was...
Are we a little bit too early in the year, though?
He was sniffing around it, though, wasn't he? I think when they... Or was it towards the end of last season when they sacked someone? He's definitely been involved somewhere. I think he was just turning up at games and like trying to speak to the chairman, and they were like, Neil, no. Please, no, Neil.
He was at the Cardiff Leeds game earlier in the season too, wasn't he? But I suppose that was maybe
Sol Bamba based.
related.
Yeah. I mean, we're 8 weeks out from Christmas. I think we're too early in the Warnock cycle. But will the proximity of Torquay, to his home in Cornwall, he lives, isn't it? Of Plymouth to Cornwall might seal the deal for him here.
I mean, Torquay is
it's commutable, isn't it?
Torquay is the obvious job he's going for because he's already there. He's already got a foot in the door. He's probably in the chairman's ear saying, "Oh, he's doing a good job, is Paul." But I just think we need a bit of nastiness in this team, and he'll have some. In fact, if it's a low enough level, they're in the National League South. He's probably at a level where some of his older players can still actually turn out for him and do a job. So we'll get like Jags in or someone, even though he's 44, to just boot people around.
Right. Where are we going next?
Let's stick on a vague Warnock theme. Former club, Cardiff.
Yes.
That Cardiff City fan, obviously.
This is just for anybody who's not seen it, the youth who swears, basically.
Did some great swearing
we've
last week.
It's essentially a sub-brand of us to all intents and purposes now, isn't it? Because we elevated his follow account. So basically all his followers are Leeds fans is what I'm saying.
They are, yeah. But it's worth tuning in for. He does really good and authentic sort of vlogs. There's no we've just, I can't remember how or why.
Does he start his videos up by saying, "All right, guys"?
We weren't, not really, no. And
good.
And he doesn't, we were talking about Thogden for some reason. I can't remember why.
Just being a dreadful twat.
That was it. That was why we were discussing dreadful twats. That was it.
Yeah.
It was him trying to tell the Real Madrid fans to calm down when they went 4-0 down in the Clasico.
That was it.
But then went on YouTube with a live stream during the Ballon d'Or saying that this game was finished. He's finished with football. Performative overreactions when he's inside a football stadium and telling fans of one of the El Clasico sides, which are losing 4-0, to calm down because it's only football.
Was it a home game, that Real Madrid one as well?
Yeah.
It's a high stadium, that as well. They'd have been quite within their rights to hoy him off the upper tier.
I think he was pitch side, sadly.
Oh, was he?
Just in case.
Just in case. He's quite little too, but easy to throw.
Is that your main criteria?
Well, I'm not. You can't throw someone big, can you? Difficult. I told you about my back. Problematic. Anyway, that Cardiff City.
That's how he selects his victims.
He's at West Brom. 0-0. Decent result for actually. They're good now all of a sudden, at Cardiff.
It's almost like having a shit manager and firing him.
Yeah, seems to have done the job for him, doesn't it? Yeah. But despite the good result, this was him in the first half, and I think he was unimpressed by the refereeing performance.
He's great. Do it forever. Never change.
The thing is, he's a kid, and we think it's really funny, but that's basically how I sound.
That's exactly it. I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
Probably 30 odd years older than him. I'm still exactly the same.
Old enough to be his dad, and I behave in exactly the same way. So completely relatable.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So
when else in life can you do that? You can't. You can't.
The soft play area with the kids.
Exactly. You're giving the wrong meal in a restaurant. You can't start carrying on like that, can you? Is the chef fucking blind?
I saw you at Fazenda the other week. Disgraceful.
Oh, dear me.
So that was good. Also, something I might have done. This next clip. This is when it pans to him at half time, and he's got his scarf over his face just to set the scene.
Like an ultra, or is he a bit cold?
Looking a bit like that, but that's not why he's doing it.
Right.
Right, so it's 0-0 half time, and the reason you think I look like a muppet is because the guy next to us has just been sick everywhere. Fucking disgusting. But yeah, must have had too much to drink. 0-0, but yeah, fucking sick everywhere.
I mean, it's always the sign of a good day out, isn't it? If you just vomit where you stood.
Never vomited in a football stadium,
No.
I have to say. A lot of places, but there was the Sunderland fan who did a shit that time, wasn't there? do you remember it?
Not especially.
It went
Just
viral.
curled one out.
Well, I think he said, in his defence, I think he said it looked like he was having a shit, but he was just having a piss.
Right.
But he was just in the seats and he was like squatting, and he was obviously caught on film.
There is a lot to be said for a sit-down piss, especially when you've got kids, because it means you can kind of just go take yourself off into the toilet and have a bit of quiet time, can't you? Just scroll on your phone a bit. But that's levels below.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It was
laying some pipe in a football stadium.
It was Mawson, he was called. That was his name. Sunderland explains that he did not drunkenly shit.
What did he do?
It was just a...
Why is there a shit on the floor? I don't know. It was there when I got here.
I've just found the still of it there. There he is. He's clearly got he's clearly got his trousers around his ankles.
Right. I mean, if you got to go, you got to go, haven't you?
He's having a little squat there. But anyway, he didn't.
So that's good.
So anyway, I don't think there were any rumours of anyone shitting at West Brom. Anyway,
have you got a favourite vomit, by the way, Michael? Just thinking about that.
Oh,
top 10 vomits.
I struggle to narrow it down. I suppose I've got a memory of once waking up to a quilt all bundled up full of sick, being a bit confused as to how it got there. And I just woke up and put the whole thing in the bath and went back to bed.
Where was that?
It was when I was young. I was still at home. Just woke up and went, oh no. Sorry, Mum.
Oh dear me.
Tough time. Anyway, on to the second half. The ref had not improved.
Poor Mrs. Normans.
I know.
Where were we? Ref's not improved, sorry, no. Is he expressing it?
Just some more swearing.
Oh, good.
It's good. Very good.
Oh, yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
It just holds up a great mirror, doesn't it? It shines a light on our own behaviour.
Right. Let's finish off on a bit of Webby and O'Neill. It's no Webby, it's just O'Neill, actually. They've lost a game.
You and your duvet.
Went in the bin. The duvet.
Best place for it, I think.
Yeah, there's no getting that off.
Just salvaging that, is there?
Nah, no point.
Right. Sorry, Webby and O'Neill.
So they lost 2-1. It was bad. They're obviously very, very much stranded in mid to lower league at the moment. So the Manchester United is getting upped anyway. So I thought this maybe had peaked after the 2-1 defeat to West Ham, but there's more to come. But this is the video they did directly after the game.
West Ham 2, Manchester United 1. Your reaction to that game? Okay, but with 14, this is Manchester United,
yes,
okay.
yes.
Let's not go on as though like we're spoiled brats, we're Manchester United, we've got any God-given right to win a football game.
There's something seriously wrong, and it's Manchester United. But I don't know anybody who at half-time can turn around and say Manchester United did not deserve to win that game.
In terms of like the build-up play, the overall football that Manchester United were playing at times, large parts in the first half especially. If we don't start putting that ball in the back of the net, Manchester United are not going to win any more games.
You know, there's times my hand was in my head.
Just left that in at the end.
I got count of 7.
Because his hands were in his head.
7 in 40 seconds.
That was me shoving my hand in my face in case anyone's...
It was a self-fisting.
It was, very much so. Don't do that in a football stadium. Or probably anywhere. Sounds risky. But, you know, whatever you're into. That was 7. That was 7 Manchester United. They then sacked Erik ten Hag, which I was upset about. I was enjoying it.
I still think it's just going to ensure more hilarity in future.
I mean, that's the position Manchester United are in. But they then obviously it was an even. This is like top level Manchester United. How many times do we say Leeds United on this podcast? It ain't very much. It's not very often, is it?
But I'm going to start thinking about it more now you've mentioned it.
We'll just talk about Leeds or us.
I do like saying it.
Leeds United.
Yeah.
The football club. Leeds United Associated Football Club.
We're not. I don't think we're an association anymore, are we?
No, we dropped it, didn't we?
Because when we went bust into 2007, the new company didn't have association in it. So we're just LUFC now, I think.
That's fine too.
It's in case we want to go into other footballs. Straight Aussie rules.
Yep.
American football.
Gaelic.
Yeah, Gaelic football. I've started the team.
Table.
Yep.
And blow.
Sounds like a good night out. Where were we?
Ten Hag's been sacked.
Yep.
There's a lot of Manchester United talk.
Are we counting out? Do I need like a ping noise for
let's just tally them up. I got 7 from the first two. I've not actually counted these before. I suspect there are more in this one.
Permanent Manchester United manager. I need a leader. I need someone there with experience, someone who can actually wear that suit in a Manchester United dugout. I've said it time and time again in the past. Manchester United should have got Unai Emery,
which a lot of us do not want and have been linked to Manchester United.
We need someone in place there who can take that suit and can stand there in that Manchester United dugout where players and most of us fans look at him and you can just think, yeah, that's a Manchester United manager. And when he's come to Manchester United,
and it's just not good enough. This is Manchester United.
You know, if there's any managers out there that you think would be the best suited to Manchester United who are currently at a football club,
it's Manchester United. It's the fans. It's the way it goes.
First season here as the CEO of Manchester United. You're running Manchester United, eh?
Who's going to scrutinise them? Not themselves, but that's Manchester United.
The next manager of Manchester United should be the best in class then, surely.
Roy Keane's Roy Keane. It's not what Manchester United need. Okay, this is an emergency. Trust was broken. People have been lying. People have been deceiving each other and everything. This is Manchester United.
Run out of fingers?
16.
This is Manchester United 16 times.
That's in 67 seconds. It's a lot.
It was, I mean, obviously that's edited down, although it's really captured the spirit of it perfectly, to be honest. I think it was only about a 15-minute clip.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, you're talking about a Manchester United a minute, which is a lot for Manchester United.
It was like one every 4 seconds then.
Someone who can wear a suit.
Yeah, it seems like a suit's really high up on the criteria. Maybe he works in a suit shop and he's just like...
What's your man favour, actually? The guy they're getting from Lisbon?
The guy who looks like David Blaine? Ruben Amorim?
Yeah, is he a suit man?
I think he's a polo shirt guy, but that's probably because he's in Lisbon and not Salford.
Ruben Amorim. Is this the guy?
He does look like David Blaine, you're right. He's got the sort of long face of him, hasn't he?
It's a strong beard game.
Do you think he should be suspended over Old Trafford for 44 days?
What, without being fed?
Yeah, he's gone for a mixture. I'm seeing tracksuits. I'm seeing t-shirt and jacket.
He's got a bit of the Xabi Alonso, that new age. He's got to deal with M&S.
Got some sweatshirts on the go. Manchester United managers can't wear sweatshirts. It's not on. Probably. I don't know.
Probably.
It'll be something they'll be annoyed about soon. Anyway, is he going to take it? Because he seems like, isn't he quite well thought of at the moment?
I saw something online saying that it's already done, but, you know, it's one of these ones. There'll be 57 different people with different stories. The actual story is nobody really cares.
Right.
Well, I look forward to them liking him for 2 weeks anyway. And then him spending a few hundred million in summer. January.
A few of the more sensible Man United fans that I know seem to now be saying probably shouldn't have sacked Solskjaer when they did, because nothing's got better since then.
Sensible.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, here, I mean,
I agree.
But if you look at the way things have gone for them since then,
yeah, but there was no justification for keeping him from.
Should have kept Moyes. If you're going to go back far enough. Who was the last team that sacked Moyes? That, you know,
I think it was Nick Harris in a Sporting Intel. He worked out they'd spent, I think it was it 1.75 or 1.25 billion at least on outgoing transfers since Ferguson left.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
The bloody Glazers.
But we don't buy the league in Manchester United.
They don't buy the league because
they haven't won it.
Yeah.
He's 39 years old, this cat, this Amorim bloke.
He was one of the ones I linked with Liverpool in the summer. I watched Sporting Porto. I think I said this before in the podcast when we were in Portugal in August and they played in the Super Cup. And I think Sporting were 3-0 up and they lost 4-3 and they couldn't defend for Toffee. So get him in.
Fun and games.
Play like that.
It's one less Boldman in the league, though.
Right.
Which is a shame for me.
He's a Hammond, isn't he?
Yeah, I feel like with the Slot might be the last. It might be the last Boldman because footballers all get hair transplants now. Coaches are getting younger.
How does it make you feel?
Where's the next?
So the next coach of Manchester United is going to be younger than you potentially.
It's fine. I could do a better job probably.
Right.
I just wouldn't take it, but I could do a better job.
Wouldn't you take it on ethical grounds, moral grounds? You know.
Would I not take it on
Yeah,
that?
because you lead through and through, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not
But
taking
you're saying you could do it.
Easy.
Right.
Solskjaer did it.
That's true.
He struck me as just a bloke who turned up and was fairly friendly to people, and they were like, we'll try a bit then, I suppose, until we can't be asked anymore. We need to shift the blame to someone else, so let the manager take the fall.
Fine. Are we done with propaganda for this week?
That'll do, yeah.
It's good.
Let's hope the Leeds game is more interesting.
Yeah, there's too much talk of Manchester United. We need to sort of balance the force up somehow there. But good. Right, so what have we got for the rest of the week? We've got a Square Ball update coming before the weekend. Johnny Cooper as well from Opta with some trends and stats telling us about the season so far. Comparison between the first 12 games last season and the first 12 this season. I'm just predicting that.
Yeah, that might happen.
That may or may not happen. So look out for that in your feed and we'll see you soon.
The Square Ball Podcast.